10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for coming along. It's Jess here from EM Publishing. I'm here to do a monthly update for you all to let you know what we're doing at EM Publishing, what we're doing at the moment, what we've got planned coming up, answer any questions that you might have. And as I mentioned in the comments, if you're watching it live, I have a few. I decided to do a few sneaky behind-the-scene things to show you. The loyal few of you that watch these monthly updates, just to give you a little background into it. I've not actually checked with Russ if I can do this. Asked in advance. I literally had the idea about half an hour ago, but I'm sure it'll be fine. He's currently playing an A5V game, so can't figure out anyway. And someone has asked, does he watch the videos when he isn't in them? I don't know. We will find out. I'll let you know next month how that went down. But yeah, thank you for joining us. And yeah, if Russ gets wise to what I'm doing right now, someone can just throw the dice over the table. I think it's an online game he's playing tonight, though. But anyway, thank you for joining us. If you do have any questions throughout the show, get in the chat, get involved. I'm here to answer any questions. It's just going to be a casual, informal amount of time that we're here for, like 20-30 minutes maybe, depending on how much I ramble and how much I talk. Fair warning, as always, I have a cold and a cough because my immune system doesn't work. So if I pause to have a little cough or a drink, that's just me doing that, but I will survive and it will be absolutely fine. And yeah, great to have you here and glad you remember the date. It's the third Thursday of the month. We also have reminders on our Discord channel. So if you're in the EN World Discord channel, there'll be a notification on there to let you know it's happening. So you can check that out there. Also on our Twitch channel, we have the dates listed there for every month till the end of the year, so you know when they're happening. But if you're not watching it live, you can always catch up on YouTube or Facebook or wherever, so you can catch up anytime. Anyway, enough about that. So let's dig into it. So puzzling encounters. So this was the last 5e quick starter we did a couple of months ago. This has all now been completely fulfilled. So last month we mentioned to you that books have been sent out. So if you are one of those backers and you've not received your book or had a notification, do get in touch with us via Kickstarter. But everybody should have them by now. I think there were like 2 or 3 people that hadn't given us their address. So we'll keep in touch with you. We'll keep sending reminders and just, yeah, let us know your address and we'll send you your rewards. Because we find it hard to do that without your address, but myself or Zin will be there. So if you do your survey late ever with us at EM Publishing, it's so helpful for myself and Zin who fulfill them if you just send us a message, just so we know to make sure and check, because we have to kind of manually add it in afterwards. But yeah, so Puzzle Encounters all completely fulfilled. So that's kind of out there into the world now. It's not available on our website yet because we always let Kickstarter backers have it a bit early, but we'll probably bring that out on our website around December or January time. So if you missed out and wanted to pick that up at retail, there'll be the option there. But we did have some friendly local gaming stores back this as well for a retailer early Kickstarter version of it. So if you ask your local gaming store if they have a copy, maybe they do. But anyway, moving on. The other thing that we did recently is we had the What's Old is New starter set, which I'm so excited about because we're doing all the starter box sets at the moment, and I'm really excited about them. I think they're really pretty. They're really fun for me to do as well from a logistics and fulfillment point of view and creating them, because my background was in board games. So when you create a starter box set, it's more than just a book. There's books in them. There's also all the other stuff like dice and tokens and maps and things. And because my background was in board game manufacturing, I feel like I've got a bit of a voice and things to say in that and to help in that process. So the What's Old is New starter box set, the backer kit has now closed. So thank you to everybody that gave me your addresses. So we're planning to get these to you in January. And so far, everything is running on time, she says. Touch wood. Touch wood. Everything's running on time. This was a really quick fulfillment turnaround that we had planned. And this is our first time we manufactured in China, because our European printing partners, whilst they could do the paper parts, they couldn't do the boxes and the tokens and the dice things in the same way we did. So we've gone to work with Longpack Games in China, and they're a really good quality manufacturer that I actually used to work for in the past. So I'm really comfortable with their processes, their systems, the way they treat their staff and everything like that. So it worked out as a really good choice for us for this. And one of the sneaky things, well, I don't know how sneaky it is, but it definitely a behind the scenes thing is one reason I really like working with Longpack on this is because they have such attention to detail. They're very uptight in the same way that I am, and everything is run by us, and they have processes for everything, and they have really clear process for how the boxes get packed and made. So I've been speaking to them this last week about the instructions for the people that are actually packing this for you. So I'm putting them on screen now just to show you how much detail I'm going into for this. So this is a guide that the people, so in the factory, obviously all the paper components get printed and all the dice get printed in a different area, because there's a different section of the factory that does plastics and dice, and there's a different section that does like punch board and tools and things like that. And then there's an assembly line of people who put everything together, and part of that is so they know how to do it to make sure all the parts are there and that it's consistent, and they do this visually so it's super duper clear for everybody. So this is, if you back this is all the stuff you're going to get in your box. So this is the front and back of the box, all looking very pretty there. And the first step is that, the character sheets go in. So there's the What's Oldest New character sheets. So they're all boxed up, so they go in the bottom of the box because that's the size. It was custom made, designed to go and fit them in, so they fit all snugly and nicely in there. Next, we put the maps in, and the maps are big poster maps, but they're obviously folded to fit inside the box there. So, and there's the 3 of them there that are double-sided, so you get your 6 maps going into there. And then we obviously have the 4 booklets, so we have the rules books that go in there, and then we have the 3 different adventures for old, now, and new, and so they're all kind of stacked in there, so that'll be the first thing you see on top. And then we have the lovely tokens there, so there's guides on them. They have like tiny little codes to make sure that both of them are in there, they're the right way around, everything's included, so you got everything you need for your adventures and for your characters. And then of course we have the dice sets as well, so you have a load of extra little red dice to kind of have to play with in there. And then the last thing is making sure we have our safety sticker of approval put on there, because we've done some safety testing for the European market. We technically didn't need to, because the box set is aged for 14 plus up, so we didn't have to, but I always like to do that because it just helps with customs. So anything that can make customs go smoother and better. So we've got all the certificates and testing and things like that there. So this is a little behind the scenes of the stuff I kind of do creating the box set, because once the rule, as you know, we always write the rule sets and we write the adventures in advance of launching the Kickstarter campaign, so we can give you the PDFs the same day it ends. But even after that process is done, there's so much that goes on liaising with manufacturers, logistics and fulfillment and all that stuff, which is the stuff I do, so I could talk for a very long time about that. So I'm very excited about the What's Oldest New box set, and I hope you are too. If you missed out on the Kickstarter and the back kit, do not panic, because it will be coming to retail. So we're doing a big outreach with a whole load of friendly local gaming stores. We've got really good connections, and our distributors in the UK and US have already pre-ordered a load. So if you are in America or in the UK, you'll likely be able to pick it up at your friendly local gaming store, because it'll go through distribution there. If you're in other parts of the world and you're interested in getting it, if you speak to your local gaming store and get them to contact us directly at the EN Publishing website, I can speak to them directly and organize that and let them know how they can get copies of that, because the rest of the world globally, our distribution isn't as savvy as in the US and the UK yet, but I am working on those things. Yeah, the thumbs up emoji. Yeah, what's up? What's up is that I'm busy making tabletop RPGs, and I want to tell you all about them. So thank you very much for joining them. And we checked a box to say that the mimic isn't a mimic that might eat the buyer. Yeah, so seeing behind the scenes, I'm glad that was interesting. It's what I do and what I find interesting, and why I love working in games, because I know so many people working in games that do, like, obviously writing and creating, but there's a whole side of the industry, people that do the stuff that kind of I do, like logistics, fulfillment, or customer service managing, and all this other stuff. And if you're interested in working in games, but like me, you're not a writer, or you're not somebody that creates games, there's so many different jobs out there that you can do. If you think of any job that a company or organization needs, a games company is a company and needs these things as well. And if you are a gamer and someone that loves games, you're going to do that job so much better, because you understand what it needs to be, if that makes sense. And the things that matter to gamers, you're going to know that better. Anyway, so that's the What's Oldest New starter set. So back kit's closed. If you are late doing it, it's not the end of the world. I've sent you an email about it, but please do reply to my email and let me know your address, just so I can make sure I can get that to you in January. Otherwise, there might be a little bit of a delay. But if you're like, box sets, Jess, I can't get enough of EN Publishing's box sets, I'll be like, I understand why. That's great. We also have one for Level Up Advanced 5th edition, which I'm also very excited about. So the Kickstarter closed. We got to just under £50,000, which was amazing. So that like hit through all of our stretch goals. We're going to open the backer kit in a couple of weeks. And so if you've missed out, don't worry, the backer kit will be open for a few weeks then. So it'll be open in November, so you can check that out there. So if you're confused about that, if you come to our November update, which will be on the 16th of November, which is, I know it's normally the 3rd, but it has to be the 16th because I'm away at convention the week after, sorry. But yeah, so the 16th of November, if you come back here, I'll have the link ready then. Or if you go to just the Kickstarter page, the A5E starter box, I'm going to put a link on the top of that page to the backer kit. So if you missed out and want to pick up your pledge, you can. Or also if you pledge for just like £1 or a lower pledge tier and wanted to up your pledge, you know, the following month, you can do that there as well. And the reason the backer kit isn't live straight away, because before I worked in games, was always confused. I was like, why don't you just open the backer kit the same day it closes? Because then it makes it easier for everyone. There's reasons for this. It's because Kickstarter takes your payment for you, and that they process it for us, and so I don't touch it and see any of your payment details, which is very secure and comforting for you. But it takes 10 days for Kickstarter to process that payments, Kickstarter to hold it, and then send the funds to us, and then it's kind of closed and all done there. And backer kit recommends you don't open it before then, because otherwise it causes confusion with payments in backer kit, because then somebody could have an alert. So if your payment failed, for example, in Kickstarter, then it's resolved before the end of those 10 days, on backer kit, it might flag that you haven't paid, so you could accidentally get charged twice, or stuff like that could happen that causes confusion and errors around finance things, which I don't want to do. So we always wait till Kickstarter has sent us your funds before we open the backer kit, just to make sure everything fits seamlessly. And if you're planning on doing your own crowdfunding campaign and using backer kit, I would strongly recommend you do the same thing. But that's why, because I was always curious, so I thought I'd let you know. But yeah, so that's the A5E starter box set. So that is coming to backer kit in the next few weeks. We plan to fulfill that in March time. And also these box sets are going to be coming through the convention circuit as well. So if you are going to any conventions in the UK or the US next year, you'll likely see these there. And I'm currently planning some of our events and speaking to some GMs that we have, volunteer GMs, about paying for them to go to conventions so they can run games, so you can try them out. So we have plans for all those sorts of things to get new people playing our games, which is the plan. So that's the A5E starter box set. So moving on is the next big thing we're doing. So if you are a patron of Insider, which is our monthly 5e magazine, and that's O5e opposed to A5e, but you know, it's backwards compatible, so cross meets. So the Vault of Splinter Souls Mega Dungeon is our next crowdfunding campaign, which is in November. Now the pre-launch page is up now, so you can. How do I share the link? I just failed at that. What a boomer moment. But anyway, it's on there. Kickstarter.com projects EN World Vault of Splintered Souls. So you can click the follow button on that if you want to be notified when we launch. We're planning on launching week after next for this. This is a super cool, it's a mega dungeon adventure. What can I tell you? So it's got 14 different levels. It's for 6th to 10th level characters. And it's really big and really epic. And one of the things I like most about this is it was made in collaboration with the patrons for Insider. So they were asked what sort of things do you want to see, and they kind of got to vote, comment, and influence what this product was. So it's really a loving product made for our patron backers that support us every month with our 5e content, you know, to celebrate the 500th issue of Insider Magazine. And because you were here, I'm going to give you a sneak preview at the Kickstarter page, because I thought that would be a fun thing to do. I haven't checked or got permission from anybody to do this. I'm just going to do it. So disclaimers, this is not necessarily the final version of the page, because we will be tweaking and editing it before it goes live. So it might not look exactly like this when it launches in a couple of weeks. But I'll let you see the thing, because why not? Because why not? So here we go. This is what it looks like behind the scenes as well. So the Vault of Splinter Souls D&D Mega Dungeon. So this is set in Elisar, which is the world that we use in A5e. So if you've played the starter box set, the Memories of Holdenshire, or the Save Kingdom adventure, that's set in Elisar. So this location is also set in Elisar. Now it's designed for O5e, but because very easy to edit and adapt into A5e, obviously, like any 5e adventures are. She's taking a breath so she doesn't have a coughing fit. So yeah, what includes in it? So yeah, so it's a really epic adventure, 6th level. It's a 100-page softcover book. So usually our Kickstarter books are £20, but this is about 4 times the size, 3 to 4 times the size of our usual books. So this comes in at £30 for the book there. But you can still pick up the PDF copy for just £10 if you'd like as well. So if you're just interested and want to run it digitally. And we'll also have some tokens and maps for you to use there as well. So you can use that on the VTT platform of your choice. What I really like about the 14 different levels is they're all themed differently. It's a very classic kind of mega dungeon. So each floor is something weird and different, has a different theme. It's not all just combat as well. There's loads of puzzle things and exploration things and like meaningful choices in the game, beyond just I'm going to go in and kill a load of things in the dungeon. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be a load of things for you to go and kill in the dungeon. But I think that balance in a mega dungeon coming through, makes things a bit more interesting. So what else have we got in here? So yeah, we've got the pledge tiers here. Another fun thing we're doing is if, because it was made for our Patreon backers, if you're a Patreon backers, you get a discounted pledge tier. So you get £5 off. All we'll get you to do is at the end, during the surveys, you'll have to just send us a link to your email for the Patreon account so we can just verify that you are a Patreon backer and you'll get that discounted rate. And if you're like, oh darn, Jess, I'm not a Patreon backer, I cannot get the discounted thing. If you become a Patreon backer during the length of a campaign, you can still get the discount. So it's that easy. But yeah, so you can certainly join on there. And as always, we all have the mega bundles, which we have like so many now. So there's you'll get like 24 different PDFs for £150 on this, which is all our 5e kind of content. And the whole bundle of books would be, so we've got 24 books there for £340 for D&D 5e. So the bundles are really big value. Of course, if you don't want to go all in, you can just get 1 or 2 things as add-ons from any of those 24, if any combination of that you like. So yeah, as we mentioned, the Mega Dungeon is set in lore of Maltaka. So there's a lore there. So it's set in LSR. So I'm not going to give you all the information now because you have to wait till it launches. But there's a magnificent city which used to exist there, but now there isn't because, well, we'll have to find out. But yeah, so there's 14 levels in the dungeon. They're all differently themed. In the Kickstarter, we outline kind of the setting for what each of these things are, so you get a feel for what the different things are. But you can see their names is, the Tangle, Hall of Champions, the Weeping Halls, Dug-In, Soul Engine, Soul Laboratory, Trials of the Storykeeper, the Faceless Feast. And what I really love about this is the 14th floor. The center of the vault of Splintered Souls is different for every adventuring party that goes down, because as you play through the game, it also uses a deck of cards and you collect these items called soul shards. And depending what you collect and the randomization and how the cards play out, you will get a different end of the vault. So it makes it replayable for a GM. If you play it through, it's going to be a different experience, and also different parties that have played it will have different endings. So it makes it kind of replayable, and just you get to tell different stories with other people that have played the game, which makes it feel really, really fun. But yes, so going through, we also have 21 new monsters. So again, these are designed for O5e, not A5e, but obviously these can be adapted in there to use in that way. We also have 15 magic items in there, the soul shards, fixture in the Vault of Splintered Souls, as you can imagine, lots of different things going in there, and you can read about a couple of items we picked out there, but listed all of them. And we've got some previews in here. So this, as I said, it's got the 14 layers. This is full of like maps and charts, and there is loads of handouts and things going on. So lots of stuff is kind of happening going in the book there. And as always, the PDF fulfillment is instant. So you'll get your copies in, so it's launching in November, you'll get your PDF in December. And we'll be fulfilling via DriveThruRPG print on demand, so we can get to you as quickly as possible. So you'll have your books in January. So we're keeping it really quick, really tight on this campaign. And here's a list of all the add-ons that I made, and they're all clickable, all the images. So they link to the original Kickstarter for that. So if you want to, I've done a little like summary of what it is, but if you want to dig in more and be like, oh, what is this? You can click on the link and it takes you through to the Kickstarter page, which I think is quite fun. And yeah, the details of the team and, all the people that make this happen down there. So that's kind of what we got going on with the Vault of Splintered Souls, which is launching next month. And yeah, I'm really excited about it, and I hope you're excited about it too. So, will the special cosmetic measure ads noted can be addressed as using the image? So it is set in LSR, so it is in the same world as in there. So it is designed for O5e opposed to kind of A5e, but it is in the same world. So a lot of those special features that you will find in there and there, because it is the world of Elisar. And originally, a lot of To Save a Kingdom's writing was originally written for O5e before it was like designed and put into Save a Kingdom in 5e. So yeah, same worlds, same features, same settings. And we have more details about the magic items in the Kickstarter campaign that you can read through. And if you have any specific comments in there, if you ask in the Discord on EN World, the designer can ask. So if you're wanting to know about specific magic features and things like that, but yes, it is in the world of LSR, so it's all kind of combined in there. And that is the next big thing we're doing, which I'm very excited about. As I mentioned before, if you are even half interested, if you could click the follow page on Kickstarter, that would be so helpful to me, because the more people that follow a Kickstarter campaign, the other people see it. It's like an algorithm thing. So if you click the follow thing so you can be notified when it launches, that is a big help for me. So it gets more people's eyes on it that might be interested. And yeah, and I'd love you to back it. That would be great, obviously on there. But I'm really excited about this. And like I say, if you are a patron backer, you've already got the PDF of this. So that's already included in your Patreon account, but you can pick up a physical copy at a discounted rate for you if you go to the Kickstarter page on there. So if you're a patron backer, and thank you for supporting Insider Magazine. And if you've not heard of that, if you go to I didn't create a banner. Yeah, let me fix that. Look at me being professional. If you go to insider.com, which has a 5 in the middle, or EN Fider, .com, you can find out information about the monthly magazine and all the content on there. And this was to celebrate the 500th issue, so there's so much content on there for you to check out. Going into what we're doing next year. So we're making plans and putting things into layout for 2024. I briefly mentioned this in the last update. So if you're here last time, this might be some repeating, some things you know. So jump in if you have any questions or want to know anything else. But yeah, we have the Gate Pass Gazette Annual 2023 coming out in January 2024. So all of the Gate Pass Gazette, which is our monthly magazine for Level Up Advanced 5th edition. So you can pick up individual issues of that as you go, but we also create it in one big book for the year. So we did that last year, and we're going to do that again this year because everybody seems to like the idea. Last year, it was in January 2023, and I don't know if you'll remember what happened in January 2023. This whole thing called the OGL situation was happening, and so we decided that the Gate Pass Gazette 2022 annual would be print on demand, because there was so much uncertainty around licensing and what was going to happen. And at the time, Level Up Advanced 5th edition was using the OGL, and so we're like, do you know what, let's just do this print on demand so we can get the book sent out the next month and everyone has it, just in case it suddenly becomes illegal for us to make books. That didn't happen, and everything is fine. But that meant that this is the only Level Up Advanced 5th edition mainline product that is a print on demand product. And a lot of people were asking if we're planning on doing this as an offset print run in the future. And the answer to this question is yes, because we're planning on the Gate Pass Gazette 2023 annual being a offset print run book, and also we're going to have the 2022 annual be available as an add-on as an offset print run book if enough people back it. So I think if we can get more than 300 add-ons of the 2022 annual, it becomes financially viable for us to do an offset print run of that book. So if you're waiting for an offset print run, this will be the campaign that will be happening in. So if you want that there, so that's our plan to do for that one. We're currently collating and getting that to layout. And as you know, not all the Gate Pass Gazette's issues for 2023 have been published yet. So we're still waiting for those to be published before we can put them into the back end of the book. We're already starting to collate, the first few ones to get that ready. So it will be fulfilled to you immediately at the end of February, because it will be launching mid to end of January. So in February, you'll have the PDF version of it. And then we'll be looking at the timings of the offset print run. But usually we're running about 4 to 5 months after the campaign, we're able to give you the physical books of it in your hands. So January 2023, Wizards are the biggest campaign to let people play no to other games besides D&D start. The idea. Oh. Well, that's not something I said or EM Publishing said, but this person said it, and I can't get sued for that. So I'll just leave that there for people to read. There we go. Anyway, moving on. So what else are we doing in 2024? The Void Runners Codex. So that'll be in the first quarter. So planning maybe March time. I'm very excited for this book. So the Void Runners Codex is Level Up Advanced 5th edition. It's science fiction, pretty much. So it is a book that's going to have the rule sets for bringing science into your game. It doesn't include magic in it because the idea is that you but of course it's A5e, so you could blend it with your core books and introduce magic systems there. But it's very much science fiction, so you can play space things. We've got starship combat in there. We've got psionics, and there's all sorts of things going on there, which is super exciting. We've done some public play tests for this. We've been working on this since 2022, so it's been a long time in development because there's so much in here that we wanted to get right and make sure it was correct. Like, starship combat is quite a difficult thing to do because, it's in all angles with starship combat as well, if that makes sense. It's not just the 2D plane, but there's also loads of other rules, and we want to keep it interesting and have different players having different roles and doing different things. And we've done some play tests with starship combat as well to try and make sure that happened. We did some paid play tests where we recorded people with their permission. It wasn't anything weird. We recorded people playing so we could watch and see with the rule set what made sense, what didn't, and how people actually picked up and played the game. Because sometimes you write a rule set with something in mind, and then when people actually get it to the table and play it, they end up doing something different with it. And that's always useful to see, because then you see what's fun and what people lean into and what makes sense to them. So we spent a lot of time getting this right. It's currently in editing. So we're getting that edited and making sure we're doing a really good, clean editing sweep of that to get that ready. And then it'll move into layout and be existing in the world in Q1 of 2024. And I'm so excited to get this out into the world because it's been a long time coming, and we've been working on it for so long in-house at EM Publishing. So I just want to get it out there in the world and let you play with it, really. So if you want to genre mash, or if you want to play science fiction, here it is for you. Enjoy. And then also we're expanding the world of Elisar more, looking at the Planestrider's journal. So there's so much going on here. So this is our guide to all the different planes and different worlds that exist, and making it canon in our universe. So there's going to be loads of cool, fun stuff here, and you can see these planar ships here with the spider webs and all. There's so much wild stuff going on in this book. I skimmed through it the other day because it's still being written and edited, so it's not finalized. It hasn't been officially passed to me to have a look at. There's a lot going on in this book, which is just great. So I hope you guys really enjoy this as well. So that'll be coming out in kind of the second quarter, so nearer to the summer of 2024. This is coming on really quickly and really nicely as well. So we're a bit ahead schedule with this book, just behind the scenes, which is really nice. And also then a change of pace in the Q3 of 2023. We are doing a board game, a card game, set in kind of the Level Up world, Split the Horde. If you were at UK Games Expo this year, yes, I forgot where I am, you would have had the chance to demo it if you came to our stand and see it. We had the designer Mark Kenobi, and Kenobi as in Your My Only Hope, Obi-Wan. He designed the game. He's also a writer for Level Up Advanced 5th edition, as well as a board game designer, so he really understood the world, the setting, and it's a really fast-paced, fun card game. Plays in about 20 minutes. The idea is that you're adventurers. You've just killed the dragon. There's a big pile of loot in front of you, as per the lovely art that way. And you are now agreeing, negotiating, tricking your way into the loot that you want to have for your own various agendas. So you'll have public goals and agendas of loot that you're trying to collect sets of or different combinations of, and you also have your own private ones that you'll have as well. And and it plays in about 20-30 minutes, 2 to 5 players. So it's a really nice game. I'm really proud of it, and I'm really excited to be bringing out EM Publishing's first game. Like I said, my background was, as well as obviously being a fan of role-playing games, I was really into my board games. You can see maybe 1 or 2 behind me here. So I'm really excited to be bringing board games to EM Publishing as well, and this is our first venture into it. So I hope you'll really like it. Next year we'll be doing some more playtesting at events. So if you go to events, especially in the UK, we'll be still playtesting the game and bringing copies of it there. And we'll also be looking to have a print and play version. So wherever you are in the world, you can try it out. So if you keep up to date with us, come to our monthly updates like we're doing here. I'll keep you updated with what's going on, and maybe you can print it out and try it out and let us know what you think. And also looking to maybe get it on the virtual tabletop platforms like Tabletopia and things like that. But because it's a card game, that can be a bit fiddly. But if that's what you prefer to do, I'll see about getting a version on there as well. So I'm very excited about this one. And also as well, in 2024, we are bringing out the Monstrous Menagerie 2. So we know how many of you loved the Monstrous Menagerie. We completely sold out earlier this year. So it's on its second. Anyway, we've got new copies in stock now across the world. So we've reprinted everywhere. Had really good feedback from reviewers and people that have really enjoyed using it, and a lot of 5e players end up using this for even just the monsters. So if they're not converting fully to Level Up Advanced 5th edition, the Monstrous Menagerie has been a product that's resonated with a lot of people. A lot of people have been asking for more, and so we will be doing more. Paul Hughes, who led the project for the first book, is also leading this project and has been working hard on it. So you can expect the same quality and the same kind of design ethos coming through in this book as well. And we also have our new art director who joined us earlier this year, who is working on this project and working on the art for it. And we're already getting art orders in, and it's going to be really pretty as well. So I really hope you all like it as well. But next year we'll be giving more previews of monsters and different things we're having in there. I was asked if I wanted to design a goose for it, but I declined because I just thought that was too silly, even though people that know me know that a goose is the thing I fear most, because they are very lethal monsters. So I was tempted, but I decided not to because I just thought maybe that's too silly. Maybe some free content for the website if anyone's interested in seeing my take on a Level Up A5e goose attacking you. But anyway, I digress. So whilst those are the things we're planning on bringing out next year, we're also bringing out more 5e kind of adventures and things throughout the year. And you can also sign up to Insider Magazine and the Gate Pass Gazette monthly magazine for A5e. And we're also going to be developing new projects for all of our product lines for Overly Chival Engine, What's Old is New, and Level Up Advanced 5th edition. Also behind the scenes, Russ is working on our second board game called Space Fight, which is a tactical space fighting game. But the idea is we didn't want it to be really, because you can get loads of space fighting games and they all have minis and they look really cool, but they're quite pricey because of all the minis and stuff. The idea on this was trying to keep the cost really affordable, and so we're going to be using tokens that you can use that, and you can, if you choose to, upgrade them yourself with miniatures that you get from wherever you want. But we didn't want to make it like another pricey, really high value game, but he's working on that at the moment in there. Is there going to be more Gate Pass Gazette next year? Yes, the Gate Pass Gazette magazine is continuing and going strong. So you can sign up on the Patreon account and continue getting your monthly magazines for that. And also we'll have the Gate Pass Gazette annual. So if you wanted to get it collected in a hardcover book, that will be coming in January. And at the moment, as long as the magazine's running, I think we'll probably every January do an annual book for that, which will be the plan. So yes, the Gate Pass Gazette will be continuing as always. No plans to stop that at the moment. But yeah, and these are the things we'll be developing, working on. And of course, we've got Insider Magazine, which I mentioned earlier as well. In terms of media and stuff and things that we're doing, so we do 3 kind of regular shows every single week. So I, on Mondays, do Not D&D, and wherever you're watching and listening to that, you can catch me there on Mondays at 10 p.m. BST, which is about an hour and a half on from the time right now. And I do that every Monday, and we also have a podcast version if you prefer to listen to it, and I interview different indie tabletop RPG creators. So as I just like talking about tabletop role-playing games, and the show's called Not D&D, so if it's not Dungeons and Dragons, I will have someone on and interview them about it. So if you know somebody that I should have on to talk, please let me know. If you have a game you want to hear about and talk to the creator about, let me know. And if you are a creator and want to come on and talk about your game, again, contact me. If you go onto the site emworld.live, which I don't have a link for because I'm professional, but it's fine. You can go to the site there and message me and tell me about your game, and we'll see if we can schedule you getting on. I'm currently scheduled up for Not D&D up until the end of the year because I'm trying to be really organised. So we're scheduled up to December. But I'll be looking for new guests in 2024 and continuing that. Also, every Friday I do This Week in Tabletop RPG, where I talk very, very quickly and try and give you the week's tabletop RPG news in under 3 minutes. And that is available wherever you're watching this every Friday at 5 p.m. British Standard Time, which is midday Eastern Time. Or there's a podcast for that as well if you prefer to just listen, which is fair enough. And every Saturday, myself, Morris, and PJ Coffee do Morris's unofficial Tabletop RPG Talk podcast, where we talk about the week's news for about an hour. We go into more depth. And then we also have a topic of the week. So we talk about something related to TTRPGs that is of interest to us or is relevant that's going on at the moment. So that's our talk show there that you can listen to. And also we sponsor different actual play campaigns. We've got 2 really great actual play campaigns coming out for this quarter. If you go onto emworld.live, you can see our sponsorships who we're sponsoring. At the moment, we have a podcast out by Podcast Party. They're doing To Save a Kingdom, a playthrough, and they did our memories. They did Memories of Holdenshire previously earlier in the year, and it was a really good quality podcast. They also do a YouTube one which has really nice graphics and visuals over it, but it was originally designed as a podcast, and all the people that work in it are voice actors. And yeah, it's just a really nice to have them continuing the story with those same characters and players going through. So they're moving from Memories of Holdenshire playing through To Save a Kingdom. And To Save a Kingdom, obviously we mentioned last time, is fulfilled now. All the books have left the warehouses. People have got their books. And so we are bringing it out to retail, general retail release. So it should be in your friendly local gaming stores next month in November. And it's available to purchase on the EM Publishing site now. So if you missed out on To Save a Kingdom and wanted to pick up a copy, now is the time. If you go to empublishingrpg.com, you can pick it up there. Also talking about the website, we did have some issues with the website. A couple of people said there was an issue with the refreshing. We are working on fixing that. We are doing a big deployment update some point, probably in November, that will go out. I need to get the date to announce it, but we are doing an overhaul of the website to try and make it more searchable and generally prettier and easier to look around and find what you need. Because especially all the 5e content and the What's Old is New content, we have like 500 different PDFs in some places for that, and it was quite difficult to search and find what you needed. Sorry, 1 second, coughing fit. Oh, the glamour of my life. She may have COVID, but she's going to carry on. So we're doing a new version of the website to make things easier to search for and to find. So that'll be coming in November. So that little glitch some people experience would be might be due to that coming on the case there. So because they're doing things behind the scene, it could have caused just a little error on there. But hopefully that'll be fixed. If you have any issues, you can contact me via socials at empublishingrpg.com or on Discord, or to our email address admin@empublishingrpg.com. If you're having issues with the site and you're trying to order something, you can't, send me a message and I will sort that out for you and send you a copy manually and send you like a payment link some other way. If you want books, I will send them to you. Website be damned. But hopefully that should be fixed and working for most people again now. And that is kind of all the news I had for everyone this month. It's been a good 40 minutes of me rambling, so thank you for staying with me. If you have any other questions, I will be back on November 16th to answer any questions you have, but get in touch with us in the meantime. Would be really great if you would give a follow to the Vault of Splintered Souls. And if you haven't given me your address for the What's Old is New starter box set, please do send it to me, because we are getting ready to send information to warehouses so we can get books in your hands in January. And that's all for me this month. Thank you very much for coming along. It's really great speaking to you all, and see you next month. Bye.